And another question for today, and that is an espionage novel. Would it normally be classified as a genre of novels or a masterplot? Well, it is actually both. You can go to a bookstore, and if it's a really well-stocked bookstore, they could conceivably have spy novels or espionage novels as a separate bookshelf. But normally espionage novels fall under the genre of thriller, sometimes under the psychological thriller. Also, sometimes, interestingly enough, they are shelved under detective stories. I don't know if I quite agree with that one, but they're shelved under detective stories, I guess, because often spy novels deal with mysteries in the same way that detective stories deal with mysteries. And so I guess they could also be shelved under mysteries. That's the thing. If you look at an espionage novel, you can look at it for what elements does it contain. If we were to place 4 espionage novels in front of us, if we were to do a Google search for 4 espionage novels, and you can do that, absolutely do that. What you are going to find is that they tell different stories, but with similar elements. Spy novels, espionage novels, have to include spies. And if it's an espionage or spy novel, it has to include government spies, spies that are spying for countries. Or it could possibly be corporate spies. And if it is not corporate spies or spies spying for countries, then the author is obligated to somehow explain how this can be considered a spy novel. What makes this character a spy if it is not a traditional government spy? And this includes corporate novels. They have to make that clear. Spies also do things clandestinely, which means secretly, in secret. And so that needs to be a feature of the novel. Spies are also not looking to get caught, but people are looking for them. People are trying to find them. And so this is an element that we expect from espionage novel, that they will be hunted in some way, that they will almost get caught or actually get caught. And so that will be a part of it. And so if you think about the spy stories that you have read or spy stories that you have seen, you will know that there are certain things that you expect or anticipate. But what you can't get in a spy novel is exact plot episodes that you expect, because that will depend on how it is set up. And this is different from a detective story. A detective story actually has plot elements. You expect the detective to be hired or to stumble across a question, a mystery, and to hire him or herself, basically, and to start digging into what has happened. And when they dig into what has happened, you expect them to find clues, you expect them to find suspects, and you expect them to also be fooled or be tricked in different ways. You expect them to eventually discover who the culprit is. So these are stages that you expect to happen in the detective story. In the espionage story, this can't be defined in exactly the same way. You do need a spy. You do need something or someone that they are spying on. You do need some type of discovery, but it doesn't necessarily have to have. Well, it could have culprits. It could have suspects, but it's not quite as. Doesn't have quite the plot structure or expectations for a plot structure that a detective story has. Now, you can argue the point with me, and you might wind up arguing and convincing me, but that's the thing. When you respond to this question, is the espionage novel a loosely structured genre novel that has shared elements with other novels, or is it a master plot? where we actually expect specific things to happen in sort of a sequence. And they can be out of sequence, but we still expect these things to actually happen.